we're family and we're going to stay together and we're all going to come with you to the future. And it's all nice and everything, but I'm like, then later in the episode, they are struggling to get the red angel suit rebuilt, and they're still putting it together while they're in battle. I'm like, why didn't they do that? And then, if they were basically just waiting for Control to show up, they had like an hour or something, and I'm like, why on earth and like, I guess they were creating the elements for the suit and everything, then that was just processing, and they just had time, and they couldn't start putting it together until that was, I don't know. There are little things that are like, really, do they just so they could be rushing to try and make it more actiony at the end or something? But so there's little things with the show that you sort of question why, and then but the battle is good. The battle is epic. The solution is okay. I liked at the time the idea of sending Discovery away, sending it 1,000 years in the future, where it would be so far away from anything, it wouldn't hurt anything. But then they followed it, and then they based another series after it, which is the reason why Starfleet Academy is not going to be good, is because it's set in the 31st century, and it's too far removed from us to make any sense or anything relatable. So, or it shouldn't, but it's pretty much, they're just going to play it like it's just the exact same time as Discovery and all the other shows, which doesn't make any sense. Makes more watchable, but doesn't make any more sense. So, but that's the season basically. We had that one story, a few individual stories within it that I liked. A lot of production values were enjoyable to watch. When she's not designing uniforms for the bridge crew, the costume designer does a good job. I don't know, I'm glad the show isn't as bad as I remember. I'm glad that I can actually watch it and not hate it, but I don't see myself really watching it for pleasure very often. There's a few episodes I might rewatch, but that's about it. I'm going to go. For free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of season 2. Have you watched it since watching it the first time? Has your perspective changed? Mine has. Like I said, it's not all the same. It's not. They're not even trying to fool us into thinking it's the same, show. Really, they're still holding on to the same universe because they still think somehow if they acknowledge that it's a different universe, somehow it's going to undermine the show and it's not going to be as valid as the other shows when it's all a multiverse anyway. Like the Mirror Universe is its own thing. Other Mirror Universe episodes, do they not count? So I just think they should just acknowledge it's a multiverse and work to the strengths of that concept rather than trying to sort of do a reboot and try and make things differently for non-fans and then trying to tell Star Trek fans that it is still the original canon, the original universe and everything when it's clearly not. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm glad I've rewatched them. I will buy it on Blu-ray because I want to see the production design in better quality. But I thought I'd have more to say about it, but unless you really go into each episode, there's not much more. There's a few things like Section 31, the way it sort of is clandestine in one show, like one time period, and then suddenly it's just has its own bases and it's everywhere, and then it goes away. I'm like, well, I guess it could have risen and fallen. You can kind of, with a few concessions, slot this into the same, universe using timelines or whatever. So I'm not as bothered by the show as I was. I didn't give it as much of a chance as I should have, and that's why I'm reviewing them, because I got that sense and that realization a while ago. I don't want to be a hater for the sake of it. Okay, I'm going to go. Bye.